A little more on what I'm calling right triangulation, and a good way to practice things and how this is going to be applicable to actual drawings is I like practicing when I'm sitting around instead of doing mindless things on a device. I will imagine the implied right triangle created by these 2 points. Sketch it out, and then I'll go to a different part of my paper and try to replicate this angled line, and using the ability to compare triangles, which is something we do fairly well, to help try to make that an accurate one. So if I was just going to sort of start off, I would think to myself, well, let's see if I can get something that's relatively parallel to that line. It seems like it's okay. Mark those points. But now to help me refine that, I'm going to clarify just what angle, what this is compared to. Give some context. Horizontal and vertical context. And so as I'm looking at these and comparing them, and I do try to think about them as some sort of imaginary object. This could be the head of a dog or something. It could be the Grinch's foot or something like that. But I want to double check that my horizontals and verticals are indeed horizontal and vertical. And then I'm going to think about, does this actually look like a enlarged version of that? And to me, it seems like this is a little bit wider than this is. So I'm going to, and I really wouldn't know that unless I was able to kind of imagine the rectangle that is implied by that, or both the triangle as well as the rectangle. So I'm going to see if I can kind of adjust this in a way that makes it look like I took a picture of that dog's head and scanned it and just zoomed in. So that to me is definitely getting closer. You can imagine these things being kind of anything. Let's I don't want to fuss with that too much because that's the idea, but I can still kind of just sort of sense that this still feels like a bit of the Grinch's shoe is I wasn't drawing it quite long enough this way. Let's try another one, and I'm actually gonna I'm gonna go rogue. Now I'm gonna finally introduce just sort of a different angle. Hopefully you're getting comfortable with the basic idea. So in double checking the angle of the accuracy when I'm trying to draw of this line, if this is my source, and I'm trying to draw that. Probably start off with something like that, which seems like, yeah, that seems like it's pretty parallel. But then adding these, the context will really help me judge. Because I'm not judging in a vacuum anymore. I've clarified what vertical is and what horizontal is. And I'm using those to help me judge. Let's see, seems, you know, it seems pretty close. Maybe just sort of strengthen it a little bit. Let's try one more in sort of a different fashion. Let's see if this is my source. And let's say I wanted to do a smaller version of that. Same thing applies. Let me start off with just kind of trying to eyeball that. Sometimes I imagine the sail of a sailboat. Let's see, now I'm sort of trying to judge at that. This seems like maybe a touch narrow. Anyway, that's the idea, and I find it to be just a really great overall exercise, both to build my hand skill and my eye judging, and yeah, all sorts of good stuff. And I'm doing it on very inexpensive printer paper, which I'm more and more a fan of practicing things that way. Anyways, check it out. Maybe I'll do a big one that I'm trying to do that matches these guys. Sketching these in light. Could be doing it lighter. So once again, just sort of looking at these guys and thinking, does that look like an enlarged that thing? Let's see. So I'm looking at these guys. I'm almost sort of wanting to adjust this to be a little flatter. I think for this one, mostly just need to clean up my intersections here. So that's the idea. Go practice that a bunch, is my advice to you. Okay.